and welcome back to Worlds 2021. We are down to the final regularly scheduled match of the day, and that right there is Isaac Azale coming.
Hello.
We needed the slow zoom just to reveal you with so much drama.
Yeah, I was really considering, like, you know, getting right up in there, but I was like, come on, you're
like, all right, it's the MF figures time to shine.
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
like so much time on camera. She gets like 30 seconds.
And also, I mean, I'm 33. I feel like, you know, I gotta be a little bit more mature, pretend that I'm evolving, you know.
Getting closer and closer to the midlife crisis. All right, it's about you now. It's about.
I'm the main character.
Yeah.
Main characters right now, definitively EDG and
Yes.
T1. And we're waiting to see if we get to see those main characters go toe-to-toe in an epic battle, or if one of them is going to get completely and absolutely dumpstered. In this case, EDG by 100 Thieves. I love it.
Slick.
This is technical.
Yeah.
Highly technical. So we're waiting for that. Basically, at this stage, T1 very much the expected favorites. If they win, we get the tiebreaker, the third game of the best of three between T1 and EDG. If 100 Thieves make the upset happens, it does nothing for them, but it secures T1.
Makes them very happy.
And
Yes.
NA fans think happy. I think.
They'd get that would actually be a pretty big deal. You get a groups 3-3. You took out EDG. You can feel okay about that. But I gotta say, 100 Thieves have not been having a good day at all. You know, the DFM game was a very close affair, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
They got absolutely blasted by T1. So, you know, I would just like to see them, you know, from the North American point of view, come out and play with a bit of confidence, right? They have looked so hesitant in both of those games. I want to see them looking confident in their plays, playing aggressive, utilizing set pieces as they did in the LCS, pre-planned dives, pre-planned plays that you're executing on with confidence.
And I would love to see that, especially in this matchup going up against Meiko and Viper. If they can play to what has been 100 Thieves' strength, playing towards their 2v2, having closer get there first. They tried that first time around. Of course, that didn't work out well for them because Owner was there first, tilted that in towards, or at least in this case, JieJie was there first, tilted that towards them. So it's one of those things where I take a look back and I say, it's going to be hard. JieJie has been having an incredible tournament. He was a player that I was looking towards in this event and seeing how he was great in the LPL, but he was at times inconsistent, knowing that he was a major playmaker. But in this one, he's been a consistent force for them.
Yeah, and I just think EDG's team fighting is so next level that, you know, even if you do have a strong early game, it does not necessarily result in a win or even a close game.
But if you can headbutt another Alistar into a fountain.
Headbutt another Alistar.
Use an Alistar to headbutt.
If we can get blind pick, is what you're telling me. If he can draft Alistar.
As Viego, take Alistar as he uses Season 1 Revive. And then, all right.
I like
you know
those
what?
chances.
Let's hope that 100 Thieves are better at playing
equal.
League of Legends than I am at speaking at this very moment. Because that's what it's going to take for a massive upset. Aurelia banned away. Yuumi going to follow. Let's see. 100 Thieves. Can they do it? Can they do it for T1 and FLICKR?
I'm just so interested to see what the draft plan here is going to be. You know, I do tend to agree with Raz. Go aggressive on the bot lane. Yes, it is EDG's strength. Yes, you are not favored against Viper and Meiko. But you've got to play the style that brought you here.
Yes.
And I would like to see them go towards something like the Lucian Nami. Go early aggression on the jungle. Move towards bot lane. Play through it. See what you can make happen.
Certainly don't leash if you play a bot lane kill lane. No more of that. Get into lane. Take control of lane. If I see a leash and also it's matched by the other side, I'm going to be furious. I know that's a minor thing to get stuck on, but it will upset me greatly. In the meantime, though, debating. What is the first pick going to be? Yuumi taking away some of the priority. 80 carry picks are up and available. Lucian, one of them is on the table. You have to think if 100 Thieves don't take it away, it's an option for EDG.
Also, 2 of the trifecta of mid lane mages are available, with Twisted Fate being banned. Ryze and LeBlanc are available. And that's been what Abbedagge has been so great on throughout the tournament. Of course, his last Orianna game, he's definitely not happy about that. So this would be a change in pace.
Xin is up, so that's definitely a possibility here for EDG. Wouldn't be shocked to see something along the lines of the Jace as well. They love playing up towards that top side. MF, another good option. Graves, another strong blind pick top laner. We are expecting this to be FBI's Lucian. Yes, potentially it could be flexed around, but it just doesn't really feel like 100 Thieves style.
Taking time here from the side of EDG, debating really what they want to lock in. Lulu would feel, I think, a bit premature, but I guess trying to limit.
It feels like they're just going to do basically what the T1 core was, right? Of Lulu, Aphelios, and Graves. I think that seems pretty high of potential. You take the Lulu now if you want to deny that from potentially being grabbed away, and then you're expecting the AD has already been grabbed, so they could grab Aphelios third. They could also look towards MF if they want to have a little bit more of a more powerful laning phase, but this does seem like what we would expect. You know, if you do go towards the Ryze, you can move down towards that bot side, play towards your Lucian Nami. They've got to get it going.
And I like this pick if he does lock in the Ryze, because he now forces EDG to ban the, to either pick Aphelios or the LeBlanc here, and they get the opportunity to ban the other. So I would like the Aphelios being picked here, and then just banning LeBlanc and making it so Scout has another pick.
Taking their time on it. As you said, they're put in a precarious situation. One of those champions is going to get pitched.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, you can ban LeBlanc, and you can at least limit some of the roaming options that FLICKR might have. But FLICKR obviously is comfortable playing out the Orianna. We just saw him play that. You know, that's absolutely a fine matchup. Azir is still up on the table, so you can just grab one of the kind of generic control mages, even if 100 Thieves want to target it in the bins.
One surprise here is that we haven't seen too much of the Syndra. And so in this situation where you're going up against a pretty squishy, well, you have the range advantage versus the Ryze and a squishy mage support there in the bottom lane. If you go for a Syndra here, first Scout's been strong at that one just historically. I think it would be a good look. Also creates space for Graves and Aphelios in later team fights. Want to see what the second ban's going to be here for 100 Thieves.
Taking their time, and again, we'll have to see what the forward pick is going to be. They have the luxury of counter pick wherever they do want to use it. Expect it to go. The thing is, you've already locked in mid laner on the opposite side, so there are certainly some options. Solo lane Lulu, I can't imagine will come to the table, but
that ain't happening.
Maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the meta these days, and Scout is such a good aggressive player that it feels like almost a little bit of a waste unless they thought they were getting some incredible counter pick or some incredible, you know, answer by moving things around, but feels unlikely. Talon getting banned away, GP nod to Ssumday's game earlier, not wanting to play that matchup for Flandre. Of course, JieJie could be playing the Graves, but we are expecting it to be top. It has largely been played top. I am just expecting probably another ban towards Scout here. You know, try to limit him. But it is instead going to be about the J4, so they're worried about the setup. They want to deny this kind of engage combo.
And one of the things that we did see in the T1 composition, they got so far ahead that it was ultimately not very consequential, but it was called out very well by the both of you in draft, is that the composition they built lacked reliable, hard engage. You were kind of waiting for the enemy team to come into you, hoping for some of these bigger Orianna shockwaves. Now, there's not an Orianna yet, but the Zen, as it is now locked in, is a little bit more reliable way to get things kicked off. It's not a Malphite, it's not instant guaranteed hard CC, but he can leap in.
Yeah, and I mean just overall, if you have prio through bot lane and through top, if you can get to the objective first, don't think you need an obvious way to start a fight other than forcing 100 Thieves to walk into you. And so, yeah, makes it so JieJie is overpowered with the Lulu behind you.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if it's Viego or potentially, you know, an Olaf. Viego, I think, was Closer's best champion, at least in playoffs. He was on fire on this champion. It got to the point where people just absolutely had to ban it. They were getting run over by him in these skirmishes. That was really the 100 Thieves bread and butter. Move towards bot side, play through that, force 3v3s, force 4v4s, where Viego can really shine if you can get that first reset. The Kennen coming through here. So it's going to be a lot about 5v5, a lot about playing through bot. I expect Ssumday to kind of be on his own on that island. We are going to get the Syndra that Raz was talking about. It is a relatively fragile comp here from 100 Thieves, so I could see Scout having a lot of success.
Of course, and I think the reasoning for why Syndra hasn't been picked too frequently is just because of how prevalent exhaust and cleanse has been throughout the tournament, with AD carries moving away from heal coming into this event. So even with that being said, he just outranges so many of the members of 100 Thieves that if they do have exhaust, it shouldn't be an issue. He also sets up for a lot of the fights here for JieJie to go wild, for Flandre, who already is going to be, who has been ahead in his previous lanes, to be set up to succeed in later team fights.
All eyes on EDG. Can they make this happen quickly, cleanly? Need to close it out and look ahead to the game in front of them. They're going to play both those games back to back. They want to secure first in this group. 100 Thieves, they're looking to make the upset. Can they make it happen? A lot of comfort picks coming out of here. Power in the bot lane like you asked for in the draft phase. If there was ever a time to show up, it certainly is now.
Got to see them play intelligently in this 2v2. You You know, we saw this, I think it was this exact matchup against T1 earlier in the tournament. That was the game where Owner got down there first. You know, it was the Poppy in the jungle for Owner against Closer's Trundle. They got down there first. And we saw FBI and huhi kind of overextending, really overplaying their cards, going very aggressively into what was a double exhaust lane that time around. And we saw FBI dashing in to one exhaust, cleanse it off, gets re-exhausted. It is not going to be double exhaust this time, but the early levels, you do still sometimes have to seed the push to Aphelios and Lulu. Once you hit 3 with Nami Lucian, that is where you can really start to get aggressive. Once you have all the Nami spells, have the bubble unlocked, they are playing Electrocute, they are playing Ignite, so I expect them to not leash and play for lane.
Exactly what you want to see. Ready to fight for a little bit of lane control as Abbedagge is also in the area. Ssumday here as well.
They see the ward being placed down, so.
Just to trade of wards. Huhi going to step forward to sweep. Meiko now going to step forward. They don't really have any CC here. Can get a little bit of damage down, can get a little bit of poke, take the ward as well. Ultimately, it's just really important to back. But of course, with so many members committed here for this kind of long poke battle, instant access to the top side for the rest of you.
Why did Abbedagge start E? You could have started W there and potentially got a flash or something. That seemed really strange to me, but they do sweep it out, but EDG just able to kind of push them back, force the reset from 100 Thieves, and redrop the ward. And that side brush ward is actually so critical in these range versus range matchups. They might even get EDG starting top side here. At the very least, they want to get the late ward.
Yeah, late ward's going to be able to see where Closer ends up, so that's going to be nice from the side of EDG. But overall, I'm probably not expecting Closer to do anything too crazy. If he's starting bot side, it should just be a full clear.
And despite all of the resources invested by 100 Thieves on the bottom side, EDG still are in the lane first. FBI uses the dash forward. He gets a couple hits down, and certainly it feels good about proccing, you know, the keystone there. But at the end of the day, bit of a head scratcher there on the level 1. Kennen finally does get to lane. Hard to know exactly how much he missed, if there's any XP going down. But FBI playing with aggressive, playing with confidence. It is big.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Viper does have the red gun, and they do have the push, so they're going to get 2 first. But they already forced the potion out of Viper here. They got him relatively low there, and because it is not double exhaust, if you dash aggressively, you can actually cleanse the 1 exhaust off. But they have to play with some respect. Wait till you get a couple levels here. Nami in particular, so much stronger, you know, at level 3 here. So you just want to play it slow, play it steady, utilize the sustain that the Nami brings to poke away, because in the long extended lanes, shielding almost always comes out over shielding.
Yeah, and kind of reminds me of the interview that they had with huhi just this last game, actually, referencing this matchup, referencing that FBI and huhi, they felt like they should have won this matchup versus T1, like you mentioned. So they get a second chance at that. Closer's going to be able to, after taking full clear top side, now impact that. So I want to see what Closer's able to do.
While we wait for the junglers to go through their first clear, important time. Verizon 5G all chat. Share your thoughts. Share with us. Talk to us. Tell us what you think. Are you fans of the tiebreaker, or do you want the 100 Thieves clout win? Now, they already have Little Nas X. That's a lot of clout. Beating EDG, that's another level of clout on top of it.
You know, really, it's a shame they couldn't get through and play Damwon, because Damwon had their own song as well. And then it could have been like Lil Nas X versus, I think, yeah, exactly.
That's the real matchup we've all been waiting for. It's not. This is the matchup we've been waiting for. And the matchup potentially after this, depending on how this game will go. We are getting closer and closer to an important break point, which is maybe why they've paused the game. There are small stakes in the speed at which EDG complete this game. We'll keep you updated as to what's happening with regards to the pause. If EDG win this game in less than 11 minutes and 6 seconds, they'll have the faster win time, and they will get side selection in the tiebreaker. Otherwise, it will go to T1.
Doable.
And if they win the game in 4 minutes and 17 seconds, they will beat the all-time 5v5 speedrun record versus intermediate bots, but it'll be against 100 Thieves, which is the greatest clout win possible.
There it is.
That said, I think literally impossible, but just setting
we already passed like 4 minutes, or at least close?
It's like 3:30. I checked. I was running out of time to make that joke. So here we are.
Ham-fisted in there, eh?
Yeah, just got, I mean,
just
right?
Going for it.
If the pause was not the perfect time, where else would I be?
They need a standard game pause into FF. That's what it is, right? To get the stat?
Well,
is that confirmed?
I don't think that they can, even on TR, FF this early.
Well,
maybe, potentially. Patty, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Patty says, 100 Thieves may be out of playoffs, but FLICKR can still help FLICKR to first seed. I know you guys call him Abbedagge, and that probably was what I asked, but we called him Abbedagge, so this is FLICKR. So is it Abbedagge for you guys?
Abbedagge.
Yeah, Abbedagge. Yeah. Mhm.
Well, see, we got the pronunciation guide, right? And that was
Age of Empires 2?
exactly.
Yeah. It helped that the 100 Thieves, one of their literal video introductions to Abbedagge is like, this is how you say his name, with the literal clip of that character
Maybe
saying
that's why he
Abbedagge.
left. Maybe he was just offended by us mispronouncing it for literal
I've known you for years, Daniel. Just one time.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
The player pronunciations can be tough sometimes because sometimes you'll talk to someone from a team, you'll be like, oh yeah, how do you say so-and-so's name? And they tell you one way, then you go to a player, they tell you another way, their teammates are calling them something different. It can be a struggle for sure.
Especially since a lot of the times their official response is, I don't care. I remember working with Kure, and a lot of the teams would be like, is it Kire? Is it like, yeah, I don't care. It's like, but
which doesn't help us as a
care.
caster. It's important that you say what you prefer.
Yep.
That's all I'll say. We might still mess it up sometimes, but we try. In the meantime, it has been an EDG pause. There seems to be a potential client issue. We'll keep you updated as we find out more information. I'm sure it is being triaged as we speak. In the meantime, interesting kind of place to have a pause, I'll be honest, because this game in itself, again, David versus Goliath matchup, as we so frequently love to call these kind of things, but the tiebreaker. I don't want to call this
a different example, you know?
Dracos versus Zhao in the top lane. That's pretty good.
What about like Krillin versus Vegeta type
that's a good
matchup,
one.
Also,
you know?
yeah,
Yep.
also very plausible. Yes. Yeah. Okay. There you go. Krillin versus Vegeta matchup. No one wants to be Krillin. We can't do that to 100 Thieves.
I mean, I basically look like him, so
I mean, yeah.
so I feel like I'm offended.
You need the dots.
The dots? I mean, the dots would be easy to do.
Also,
There
you
you
might
go.
need to die a few times. You might need
That's
that.
harder to
That's
do.
a little
I'm
bit
less
harder.
on board for this.
Yeah, all right.
We'll see.
Did you guys both just say we'll see if you die?
No, I was gonna try to transition.
Is that
to
like an ominous thing?
I was gonna say
they both look at me at the same time, like, I don't really want to die, guys. You both look over.
we'll see. There it is. I was
with one eye open.
there. It is. I know.
We're in the same
What
hotel,
did Kobe
brother.
say to me the other day?
Oh,
I know.
God.
Okay. All right.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Oh no. All right. Bubble goes wide. We'll see if anybody dies like Krillin in this game repeatedly. There are no Dragon Balls, but you do have a respawn timer here in the old League of Legends. Now they're getting aggressive. Viper getting burned down. That's going to be first blood. Positive start now for 100 Thieves. That's the reset closer now coming in. He's got the root too. The flash out. Is it going to be enough for Morano? They managed to get it. Perfect start for 100 Thieves.
Let's go! 100 Thieves straight out of the pause. Grabbing back-to-back kills. They're in the bottom lane. This is how they thrive in the LCS playoffs, forcing these fights, focusing someone down, getting the reset for closer, and letting him pop off.
Take a look at this. Viper just didn't expect it, thinking that he had the opportunity to take the fight with JieJie so close by, but no. Gets locked up and killed. And thank God you have Purple Gun, because Closer can convert it into 2.
And that was such a high-value cleanse there from FBI. It looked like they slightly overlapped the polymorph and the exhaust. So you got the 2-for-1 special there on the cleanse. The follow-up with the root from Closer was great. 100 Thieves, that's a play that can give you some confidence to play with aggression. And you have to play with confidence. You have to play with aggression against EDG because they will slowly choke you out of the game. They love playing around objectives. Their team fighting is incredible. You cannot take your foot off the gas pedal.
Very, very crucial. We saw highlight moments in the previous game from DFM. Arya absolutely popping off early. It was not enough. Have to see if 100 Thieves can do a better job of transitioning these early game leads into meaningful impact across the map or continuing lane domination here. Viper doing his best to just clear this one out with the Infernum as Abbedagge doing all right. Roaming up, getting a bit of vision down. And again, 1K gold lead at 6 minutes. Very, very positive.
Yeah, it's nice, and I'm expecting T1, 100 Thieves to continue it. Because a lot of the times when they get their early leads, it reminds me T100.
There's a T and a 1, Rats. It's okay.
Oh my goodness, in fact, they're looking for another play here.
Mock-up.
JieJie's nearby.
Gonna back away, that's the polymorph. Closer in the area though. Closer, now running for his life. Trading
Scouts
back.
here too. You don't want any piece of that.
Nope, no exhaust here to stop the Syndra ulti from doing maximum damage. So getting zoned off the tower, but Abbedagge also on the way down. Everyone really has to be careful though, because if they group and focus a single target on the side of EDG, if anyone's split or caught out, they will get bursted down very quickly.
I mean, it's just so clear. They both realize this is the pressure point. they can't allow on the side of EDG 100 Thieves just play isolated 2v2. They're going in.
Red white, they want to try to finish the kill off now. Immediately Abbedagge going in, point click the CC down. Viper trying his best to hold on for this one, but it's going to be 2 quick kills. Closer doesn't even need the reset. He doesn't even need to pick up the souls on the ground. 100 Thieves 4-0 up.
This is what you want to see, Zhao.
Yeah, and he's not even going to pick up those souls. He doesn't need those. He's got a better body.
And this is what I love about 100 Thieves. When they know Ssum's down, let's make a play happen. Being able to deflect what T1 was able to do earlier on, sending Syndra back bot lane. Ryze says, wait, I still have a window here with Realm Warp. Instantly goes on top of the Aphelios without Ssum's. Great job.
Yeah, Abbedagge, the Realm Warp was great. I think, the initial play, when it was that 4v4, it looked like it would be pretty EDG favored, but get down there, it does look like it just kind of dissipates. So Scout's going back towards mid, going back towards base. Everyone is kind of going back, and Abbedagge just still has the Realm Warp. So, preying on the fact that the EDG bot lane didn't have Ssum's there was fantastic. They have the route to set it up, and they're able to pile in, get both those kills, which is a pretty significant lead already.
And this is big for EDG, and we'll see how the rest of the game this unfolds. I think it's also massive for 100 Thieves because keep in mind, while they did win the previous game, that game was a mess.
Yes.
There were so many individual mistakes. How many times did FBI die with flash up, with stopwatch off to an MF ult? So seeing them draft the way you expected them to, both of you and a Residence, you're going to watch a kill lane against Viper Meiko coming in 4 kills to kick off the game, hugely positive.
Absolutely. And I mean, they just want to make some sort of a splash here, right? You are already eliminated from groups. You've got to play with confidence. You've got to play with that pressure off here. Show you can do a little bit of damage, at least push EDG or T1. They've already lost both their games to T1. This is their last shot to do something here against EDG. And they're looking to go out here to play spoilers and again deny EDG first seed, which they have never been able to get coming out of groups.
Yeah, and to what Draco said, of course, the point about doing it against a team that plays toward bot lane, that has been EDG style, not just this year, but historically, and it feels like 100 Thieves doing a little bit better here in this game.
Yeah, and I think especially as you highlighted earlier, the huhi interview talking about, hey, we were shaken, when we came in and there was this discrepancy in bot lane. I feel like we need to get better mechanically. Well, showing up mechanically in this game certainly, but of course keeping you updated on the pause. EDG pause, Meiko experiencing an issue where his client is minimizing, league officials investigating further. Obviously ashamed to hear that kind of problem is ongoing. We'll see what the what the root cause is, how they figure it out, what the ending decision is, of course, from league officials. However, difficult now because it does undercut, I think, a little bit of the hype, but we'll find out exactly how it affected things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they can review exactly what was happening on his screen, so they can very easily find out, if it was affecting any of the plays or not. Either way, frustrating to have that sort of stuff happen for Meiko, but maybe in the meantime, we could get a replay of that last double kill on the bottom side.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just overall, I mean, just kind of looking throughout the past of 100 Thieves and what I've enjoyed about them, sure, it's just been how they like to play around their 2v2, but it's just capitalizing on Ssum's. TP plays when waves pushing towards them so they can take an opportunity there, or just taking opportune dives that they were able to do versus TL in the finals in the LCS. And so I'm looking at this from Meiko and Viper's perspective. I'm quite scared, knowing that they're now a little bit behind, and it's only going to spiral with 100 Thieves just breathing down their necks.
I think it's really easy to watch the Gumayusi Aphelios game and be like, wow, this champion is so powerful. And when you get a lead in the right circumstances, he certainly is. But if Aphelios falls behind, he's like a utility bot until he gets 3-4 items under his belt. You're hoping for purple gun, you're hoping for setup and team fights. If you fall behind a Lucian Nami, you're just going to get cold. This man's going to walk up to you in a side lane and one-shot you before you can do any damage at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're both playing relatively fragile comps, right? And when you bring the Kennen into the mix, if you're behind, Kennen coming in on the flank, Viego piling in, it can definitely be very difficult to deal with on either side. Such high amounts of damage coming out from both teams, and generally playing with a lead really means an incredible amount in those types of situations.
Another thing to take note of is Abbedagge being pretty core to that play. In an interview, kind of mentioning how he's always found confidence in his 2v2 with closer and working with closer. Coordinating dives and ganks and all these things. This worked really well for them domestically. And so now this game, moving away from the Orianna and away from that slow-paced, full team fight composition to something that he's just at home with, I think is really playing to his comfort.
Frankly, I mean, it's just such a difficult position to pause in, right? And we'll have to see, again, what the end result is. But I'm ready to see what these teams can do as we come back in, how teams adjust, assuming that we continue from the point that we're at. Of course, we will have to see, but obviously very difficult for EDG to come back, and not a situation that we're kind of used to seeing them in the early game, especially when you take into account that it is Meiko and Viper. And huhi has been pretty clean today. You know, we said it, like, of the, again, very messy previous game, the Alistra was cleanest.
huhi, Fountain Laser.
Oppo player of the game, huhi, Fountain Laser, the dynamic duo we've all been waiting for. Now, he does lack a way currently to toss people into the Fountain Laser, which is
concerning.
Disappointing oversight in the 100 Thieves draft. I think we have to call it out now. Lacking away in general, honestly.
I mean, huhi is just such a fun player, though. Like, I've been a big fan of his for a lot of years. I always felt like he kind of got unfairly characterized as just like a poor player back on CLG. Obviously played a very roam-heavy style. It's kind of similar to some of the treatment that we've seen Niski and players like that at times get when they are less lane-focused, when they're more about playing the map. You do tend to fall behind sometimes individually in the matchups. And it was so exciting to see him actually role swap, go towards support, where I do feel like he's been performing even better than he ever had, you know, as a mid laner. Yes, he won championships. Yes, he got to a finals at MSI, but it does feel like on an individual level, he's playing better than ever. He's able to succeed in that 2v2 with FBI. And this is something that they're doing both as a relatively new duo and also with him as just being a relatively new support.
Yeah, I'm playing through a lot of matchups, different matchups. Domestically, you know, finding different ways to play Senna. A lot of the times, if we were to ask him, like, what he feels like he's best at is his understanding of matchups, like that he has in 2v2s. And that's been what him and FBI have been so great at. So definitely great to see him, especially with how smart of a player he is, how core he is to generally engaging with his team. Different look now, of course, being on Enchanters, but still.
I think it's such a hallmark of success when you can come onto the international stage and perform after many years at this level. And obviously we can see again on some of these kills, highlighting on the bottom side, the perfect guns for Closer to get, the perfect timing on the gank. Everything went swimmingly for 100 Thieves.
And then here's that second play. You can see in the top of your screen, Scout was going back towards mid lane, thought the play had dissipated, thought that Abbedagge was heading back towards that mid lane. And it's a perfect timing there on the Realm War, piling in here, 4 kills early in the bottom side there for 100 Thieves.
And that play will, you know, we'll see what happens with the pause and what the end result's going to be.
We're back.
There we go. Because the play is really damn impactful. That just means that they can re-up, double down on what FBI and huhi's able to offer. Dragon is on the map, so that should just mean 100 Thieves are going to be far more confident fighting for it.
Now, one thing they do have to be careful about is the fact that Abbedagge did spend his TP to get back towards mid lane. Scout now has TP advantage, and Closer, spending all his time down towards that bot side, is a little bit behind in experience to JieJie. So they have to be careful about that. They have to play with respect to the TPs, because one TP flank, taking those bounties from your bottom lane, I mean, that can really erase everything that you've done.
Yep. That fragility goes both ways for both of these compositions. A lot of squishy champions on both sides. Either side overextends, makes a mistake. Those shutdowns go over as you highlighted. Things can fall apart very, very quickly. For now, 2K gold lead. Closer and huhi moving in onto the bottom side. Dragon potentially in their sights. As Abbedagge sidestepping there on the stun is big. He's holding on to pretty well in this lane overall. You expect the range advantage for Syndra to do her some favors there, but obviously 2 assists and keeping things pretty close in the CS.
Yeah, and it's just a reminder, you know, Flash is still down for both Viper and Meiko. They're going to be the target of this play. And 100 Thieves did have a pick of the litter. They could have actually rotated topside for Rift Herald or go for Dragon. They're playing for the safe play, which gives EDG an opportunity to trade.
Oh, JieJie, Closer, both coming into the mid lane.
Well,
Closer has to be careful. Locked up, can't ult out to safety, and will do so. Abbedagge off to the side. JieJie ready to go over the wall. Closer incredibly low. He has to flash out. Scout coming over the wall. Instant ulti to come out. If he can take down JieJie, maybe they can turn it. JieJie now running. He's used the ultimate to get him away. Abbedagge has no way over the wall. He used the flash earlier, and now Scout trying to make the mad escape.
Yeah, Scout's on the wrong side of the map, but will they actually find him here? He sees Abbedagge with that pink ward. Now, will he check the Wolves?
Wolves should auto. No! Oh! Oh, the patience was for Abbedagge. It's not going to work.
Ah, that sucks for 100 Thieves, but nice play there from EDG. JieJie pulling off the Herald, and Closer's checking that brush because he assumes JieJie is on the Herald. He's trying to move through mid, get priority, and then move over as a 2-man squad to contest it. But in this case, JieJie has pulled off. He just waits in the brush there for Closer.
Yeah, in the end, I mean, they didn't want to just give a trade and give the Rift Herald over, and they didn't have any vision as well. So even with Scout having low mana, they felt like they could take this fight, didn't know that Zhao was just sitting in the bush lying in wait.
Yeah, and of course, when you can follow that dash over the wall, when you have flashes up and available, when Abbedagge does it, it makes it so easy to come out on top in that exchange. We talked earlier about recognizing summoner spell cooldowns, and EDG did a fantastic job of it.
One thing in their favor, though, they do get 2 flashes there. They got the flash off Scout, they got the flash off JieJie, so there is potential to try to look for some sort of a repeat to try to punish there in the mid lane, as Abbedagge will have his flash significantly earlier than his counterpart here in Scout.
Wave priority for now. Use it to move down to the bottom side of the map. So much vision there for them. 100 Thieves, will they use this to secure the dragon? For now, it is just the Scuttle Crab. You see JieJie and Scout ready to play to the top side as necessary, recognizing the number advantage present for 100 Thieves.
One thing working for EDG, despite the fact that they've died twice, Viper has just an insane amount of farm here, so keeping up his gold very well. Yes, FBI will still be ahead, but the significant farm advantage is working in their favor.
Instant stun follow-up. Scout locked up and will now get taken out. That's the reset. Closure can start to walk forward. That's going to have to be a little bit more. Kennen getting the stun down as well. Ssumday now moving forward onto Flandre. Instantly the ult coming out. Trying to get out there with the ultimate. Good poke onto Flandre. He's going to be forced to flash away.
Nice play by Ssumday, and now Viper coming back, but he's coming back to 2 plates being down. 100 Thieves are pressing here, extending that advantage. JieJie trying to get over here, but should be able to finish this off. Wow, I'm actually shocked. They're prioritizing the reset timer here for Abbedagge. Instead of just moving to grab this, they know Scout has TP, so they decide to not risk the play.
Yeah. Just especially since, as we see from the new Axe Effect replay, trying to go for the pick on towards Scout. Didn't know that actually they were using Abbedagge's ultimate there to make the play happen. So in the end, what a great pick on towards Scout to stop JieJie from picking up this Rift Herald.
JieJie, nothing if not persistent. He will start the Rift Herald for the 3rd time. This time it seems like he should be able to grab it, but Ssumday already on the way back.
Not so fast,
Drake. Get there first. Ssumday, no ultimate though, is pretty big. Abbedagge pretty strong though. Level 10 Ryze, very scary to the level 7 Zhao. Flandre also on the way down. Nami floating her little fish legs, or whatever they are, over there as fast as she can. Fins, but now JieJie's gonna be in trouble. Looks like they have grabbed the Herald, but can they grab it? Flandre's gonna grab the Herald and try to escape. JieJie will go down in exchange, but overall can still be a positive gold trade for EDG if they use the Herald well.
Yeah, so kind of sucks for 100 Thieves since they did get huhi to rotate for that one. Now that FBI is now under turret. But with a man down, seems like 100 Thieves are gonna be able to just at least get the first dragon.
Yeah, JieJie gets the Herald, but the Herald sends its regards.
There it is.
Takes him down for it, not without a fight. 100 Thieves looking to try to delay that, but
with the shield, big damage now coming in. Nami, can they try to turn this one back? Viper locked up, misses on the ultimate, but has a bunch of chakrams stacked, as well as the healing. Lane phase will just continue. Both sides ready for a little bit more. Closer can come over the wall. Maybe just go for the ultimate into the stun. Abbedagge in the area as well, but they don't have a wave to play around if they want to go for this dive. Very risky. Instead, they'll turn for the Drake.
Yeah, again, respecting the TP there from Scout. They don't see him, but they know that is up, and it could definitely get turned. So instead, they go to the Dragon. Smart play here from 100 Thieves. Such a weird interaction there, how shielding actually stops the interrupt from preventing the recall. Yeah. So, FBI moving forward, and then Viper just says, well, you got too close, bud, so drops the exhaust on him. That is traded for the cleanse, but 100 Thieves don't overcommit. They do get an incremental advantage here, still holding on to that 2,000 plus gold lead, and now they have a dragon to boot.
I will say, though, the vision that 100 Thieves have around mid lane, surrounding Scout, actually gives them the full confidence. Was able to ping Scout on the top ward near Raptors as he was leaning topside, so even though, yes, he does have TP, felt much more confident going towards the dragon itself, so good start.
Certainly is. JieJie now up to the top side. Flandre getting poked away at, but as he already has the Immortal Shield bow, it's going to be hard to go for 100 to 0. Ssumday ultimate up though, so the dive might have been difficult if they did not have the Herald. Closer rather, in the area. Abbedagge now on the way up, so it looks like it's just going to be 2 tower plates, but maybe EDG are going to have to pay for it with their lives. Closer now stepping forward, flash forward, immediately going to find the point and click knockup, but there's no further follow-up as JieJie uses the ult.
Yeah, nicely done there, just disengaging with that Zhao ultimate. So strong in these types of situations, and they get the flash off Abbedagge, so moving up, they get the plates, they get the opposing mid laner's flash, and 100 Thieves still have not noticed that pink ward up in their blue side quadrant, so getting a lot of information off that is EDG.
Yeah, and if you're EDG here, of course, being able to get ulti for flash, Sure, there's not really a play on the map that you can get to get a scrap around Abbedagge, but what that does mean, though, if once Viper and Meiko are able to get pushed down bot side, and you're fighting for vision around the bot side of the map, you do have an angle on Abbedagge if a fight were to break out. So interesting to see. Nice control ward being placed here from Abbedagge.
Good placement. Of course, EDG has the same placement spotted out. That's a big calling wave going to come out as well. Meiko now going to be the one in trouble. Viper might also drop. Wild Growth comes out early. Clean flash away from FBI on the edge of death right there, but does manage to make it out.
Really nicely done, though. They get both the flashes off EDG bot lane. They get another kill here. And Closer trying to threaten the wraparound again. They still have got to respect TPs. JieJie in the area to defend Viper. But FBI with a quick responsive flash does keep himself safe, and it's another good play here for 100 Thieves.
Ssumday contesting the blue buff now, scrapping across the map. You can still see bot lane being contested, but Abbedagge is back in base. He has the TP if he wants to come to the area, but there's not a lot of vision for him to play around, so instead we just got to keep our eyes on a battle for the blue buff. Kennen is going to grab it in the end.
Got him.
Ssumday grabs that one.
And this has just been a great combination of strong mechanics from FBI and huhi, which is a great redemption from the previous game, and overall strong tactics. Now, no sums there from Viper and Meiko. They're going to be the target when Dragon comes up, and they're going to for sure fight for the second Dragon. But as we see from the replay, a lot of great damage put down on towards Viper, and they just single out Meiko. So even though, you know, the defensive measures were put down there, not able to get any of the picks there. Flash forward from Viper to see at least if he can get a trade on FBI.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just great target selection. Meiko uses the shield, the Wild Growth, both onto Viper. Yeah. They know the exhaust is not available, so just change targets. Utilizing the Gale Force there, the dash forward, close the gap, burst down Meiko, get the flash off both. Yes, you have to trade your flash to do it, but now JieJie could be potentially in some trouble here.
Darkness is going to blast Cone out to safety as 100 Thieves push in and look to gain control for vision over the bottom side. But important to note in that play, Viper and Meiko still very close to finding the return kill, despite the depths that they found themselves in. So 100 Thieves know they still have to execute flawlessly if they want to continue to find these advantages on the bottom side.
And even though EDG is not that far behind in gold, they are going to be playing defensively for a little bit. Viper is not going to be comfortable to take a fight knowing how both their sums are down. And no vision there towards the Dragon. Sure, they have Scuttle, but this Dragon should go towards 100 Thieves.
I mean, it's kind of just been a tale of two lanes, right? 100 Thieves very clearly focusing towards the bottom side. Flandre got the Rift Herald for himself, dropped that top, so he has the CS advantage. He has the plate gold as well. And at this point, Kennen really cannot threaten Graves whatsoever. Once you have the shield bow plus Merc Treads, you're not going to burst him down. You're not going to out-sustain him. So it becomes you versus the minions and him versus the tower. And that's just never a winning situation for the Kennen. So Ssumday just has to do his best to hold on, look to be useful in the team fights, because this is a squishy team. And while he can't win the 1v1, he can still roast EDG if he gets a good TP flank.
Absolutely can. I think for Flandre, though, he's very aware of how squishy both sides are. You can see him going Collector second on the Graves. When we swap back over the items in a second, that's going to be massive, massive damage if he ever gets into close range. So Viego is going to want to come into the Ryze as well. So while you can get the massive Kennen ult, while you can be the absolute game changer on the side of Ssumday, you have to be careful. Pick the wrong fight and it can just as quickly turn against you. You see red-white for Aphelios. We saw in the previous the game with huhi. You see how powerful this champion can be. So again, 100 Thieves have to respect it, but they also need to keep pushing forward with the lead that they've built.
I'm really interested to see, are they both going to contest here for the Dragon? EDG starting on spawn. Ssumday is still topside, and Flandre has his 2 items. He finishes the Collector, so he's going to be massive if he gets here. There is a potential TP flank ward, though, below them in the river. He's going to
have to chain the CC flawlessly. Viper could be exposed on the backside here. Big tidal wave. Abbedagge also coming in. Viper isolated. Vicer instantly popped. EDG now running. JieJie has to be careful. Culling damage going to be mitigated for the most part. Meiko slowing them down as much as he can, but Abbedagge potentially ready for the redive. Only 4 creeps there, but they don't have any tool to clear the wave. Flandre might be fishing for the 1v1, but Closer can come right over the wall. Closer can't get anything done. Big damage, big shutdown for Flandre.
Straight confidence there from Flandre. He's been the silent member this entire game. Been on the island there. Comes in on a flank just to sandwich Abbedagge, and he gets hit hard. Min wave being canceled out here, being destroyed here. So Scout's just been focusing through mid.
Yeah, Abbedagge just short on the flash. It's just come up now during his respawn timer. Didn't quite have it. That was the one he expended topside, actually trying to attack Flandre. And right again, we can see it one more time. EDG taking down the Dragon, but it's about the TP flank. So 100 Thieves, they lose the Dragon off of EDG just straight rushing it. And they're trying to get more. They're trying to get as many kills as they can to make this worthwhile. So Abbedagge looks to do the wraparound, but it's 4 members from 100 Thieves on the bottom side, and Abbedagge is up there by himself. So Flandre just says, hey, I can win this 1v1. I have found the opportunity. Gets one back for him, but we're back to live, and we're over to Herald.
Herald, second one of the game. Only a few seconds to take it. If JieJie can slow this down at all, it might just despawn. Taking their time, though, should be able to finish it. They're going to be able to grab this one right before Baron comes up. Big potential pressure point. Topside tier 1 still standing. Mid lane tier 1 still standing for EDG.
But look at bot. No one's answering Flandre, so they have 5 members around mid. Yes, you get the Herald, but the Herald gives you the potential to get a tower. Graves already took a tower.
Yep. And EDG might take another one here in the mid lane setup. Gravitum trying to find a little bit more poke damage. Huhi very squishy, but there's Ssumday in the midst of the entire team. JieJie now going in, scout off to the side. 1 kill getting traded back. Closer now fishing for the resets. Can't go in with the Ssumday.
The scatter!
It's too big. The scatter works.
Oh!
It's a disaster. FBI on the hunt. Graves now collapsing as well. He might get picked off too. Dash over the wall. All of 100 Thieves ready.
They're on the hunt. He wants this.
Stun gonna come out. Flandre not gonna be able to dash that one. Good damage coming in. Closer has to be careful. Flandre throwing back with the smoke screen. He's not scared. Throwing out the ultimate as well. They won't be able to push any farther, but massive fight win for the side of 100 Thieves.
EDG overplays their hand mid lane. It was looking good keeping Flandre on the side, but make one mistake, and that's Closer getting possession and a wonderful sweep just to get a pick on a Viper. I want to see that replay again.
Man, I just love seeing no hesitation there from Ssumday. If Graves is going to be bot side, you have to make a play. You can't allow him to take these for free. So Ssumday showing up here, finds the initiation, goes straight forward into EDG as they group up, flash, rocket belt right in.
So they're able to get that possession. Take a look at Closer on this one, able to single out Viper. And so I loved it even more twice. So yeah, JieJie didn't get the flash over the wall, and so that turns into a double kill over to Lucian.
There is a Viego on the other side of that wall, though, so I don't think the flash saves him. So at the end of the day, maybe wanted to hold on to that cooldown, but for now, he'll fight for the Scuttle Crab, and
got that too.
That's a sad B now. Closer following up. Closer rather. Abbedagge now going in. That's going to be the easy CC. They're taking out the enemy jungler.
They can go Baron. That's a jungler.
They just keep winning exchanges. EDG, difficult to go into the pit up against the Aphelios, but you always have the threat of the Kennen re-engage. Scout might try to start some poke over the wall. This could be the Baron that secures first seed for T1, but 100 Thieves just going to be happy with the TP.
Exactly. They get the TP. They will back off. FBI is getting so strong here. 2 items completed plus the BF, but you look at the other side, and Flandre doing one better. He's got the pickaxe on top. He is getting dangerously close to that IE. And it is going to be all about the Graves. If he can close the distance here, when you get to an early IE on Graves, you get those buckshot crits, you can just delete someone off the map. I mean, he is level 14. He is absolutely enormous. But he's got to play it well because you are short range, which makes you very vulnerable to getting CC'd up and burst down.
That's why it feels like Ssumday's having larger impact, because all he needs is just that one kill. It doesn't have to be Flandre if it's going to be Scout or if it's going to be Viper like that previous fight. Then Closer and FBI can start rolling these fights, and this snowball can start for 100 Thieves.
I've got to say, Mountain Soul is going to be so impactful for either side in a game like this, where there's so many squishy members, especially dealing with champions such as Syndra, to be able to actually give you that shield to get through the initial engage, or to give you that shield to get through the initial engage from someone like the Kennen, is going to be incredibly valuable. And I think both these teams will continue to want to try to fight for these dragons.
Yeah, and similarly for Closer, you need resets. Ssumday wants to find the kill. You get the reset as you highlighted, Ryze, and the fight gets so much easier, especially with just how powerful a lot of the champions on the opposite side are if you can pick up those possessions. That said, 100 Thieves currently zoning EDG away, trying their best to lay down a little bit of damage here on the mid-tier 1, but it looks like all it's going to do is set up Ssumday to start up this Drake. They will not be able to take the tower. They can, however, get themselves one step closer to that Mountain Soul.
Exactly. It's just smart play overall. You know, EDG is in a pretty poor position just because they were trying to get the vision cleared out around Baron. And so not only do they waste their time, they lose a few minions, they chip down mid-turret, Dragon over the 100 Thieves. Now next Dragon is going to be third, so EDG will have to fight for it, and it's all in 100 Thieves' favor.
Absolutely, but you've also got to keep in mind how quickly EDG can burst down Baron with this type of composition. When you have Flandre this strong, plus Viper, especially if he does have Chukrum's got that white gun ready, you can shred that absolutely with JieJie tanking it up. So 100 Thieves are trying to keep vision in this area, trying to make sure they're maintaining some control. This went wrong for them in their game earlier today against T1, where they did give up that Baron after an aggressive dragon take that cost them a lot of health. So trying to make up for some of the mistakes they made earlier.
And just kind of seeing how EDG can get back into this game and kind of utilize Flandre here. If they were to get vision up on towards Baron and pull 100 Thieves towards them, if all you really need is Flandre just keeping tabs on where Ssumday is, making it so Ssumday doesn't come up with a flank or a TP in general, and Ssumday will not be able to get through Flandre, or he'll lose a lot of his HP. Flandre just picked up his Infinity Edge. That's how strong he is at this moment.
And it was already highlighted, Azale. The Graves crits in general are the most terrifying thing in the world. For this many squishy champions, doubly so. And very important, again, the 100 Thieves continue to find avenues into these fights. Kennen going to be the big cooldown to keep your eye on. Will free up the carries to do so much work.
You can see double stopwatches here picked up 400 Thieves. Ssumday's got one for the team fight. So does FBI. Was not able to use it to good effect earlier today. We're going to be looking to see that he is on point. That he has got to be against this much burst that EDG do have. Both teams posturing around mid.
Coling coming out to just eat the waves. Good poke back on the Viper, but he doesn't tank the bubble, so he'll be fine. EDG first to move up. They've already laid down the vision. Scout vision for a bit of poke on Abbedagge, but he's not going to get hit by the Scout of the Week.
And of course, Abbedagge does have to watch out here, because if EDG is the one getting full push through mid first, also having full control through the topside river, this means that Abbedagge can't at least push past top river in general. So just means that focus is on Ssumday here getting pushed out and now getting Flandre to react.
Yeah, exactly. And once you get that reaction, then 100 Thieves can move in the topside river, clear out the vision that EDG got. So that is what holding on to mid and sending Ssumday towards bot has got you as 100 Thieves. As soon as they see Graves down bot, now they feel very comfortable moving in here, clearing out vision, trying to maintain dominance on this side of the map. And it's also buying some free time there for Abbedagge to go here. Ssumday eyeing up mid lane like you might want to look for this. Closer's wrapping around behind.
To the side. Can rock belt in, not going to pull the trigger. Waits, of course, is an exhaust on Viper as well. Very difficult. If they pull it off, obviously it's miraculous. It's a Baron, but don't want to take the risk here. Don't want to overplay their hand.
And you've always got to track the exhaust on Viper. If you do not have multiple people piling in at the same time, you are completely shut down by that exhaust as the Kennen. You need follow-up damage if you're going to be the one tanking it.
Yeah, and just to kind of set the stage for people, a kill there isn't even, like, getting flashes there is a win. Because you're so far away from that next objective, 1 minute and 40, at the time it was 2 minutes, that, you know, you'll be able to get your ultimate up just in time. Meanwhile, you'll create an option for Viper and Meiko, who are the targets at that moment.
Difficult now. EDG going to continue in. We're going to play some turn-based League of Legends. First, one team's going to get mid-push, push out their side lanes, move in to fight for a little bit of vision. The enemy team going to respond, push out, and do the same until someone wants to start the Baron, so until someone wants to take that risk.
And it's been all about these waves, because we see Ssumday, he was down towards bot, he was clearing out that wave, so as soon as EDG see that, it's their turn to move in, it's their turn to get vision. FBI, though, does have the IE completed. That's a huge buy for the big carry now 400 Thieves. And you can see quietly, Abbedagge is quite strong as well. He's got his third item. He has the Zonius completed. 100 Thieves have the tools to win this game, but do they have the execution against one of the strongest team fighting teams in the world?
EDG unrelenting in their pressure in the mid lane. You can see all the cooldowns just consistently used on Viper. Such a difficult target to dive on, even as he steps right up into your face. Ssumday, again, the person to watch. Flash level 15, Kennen would love to hit 16 before he has to team fight. Get the final rank in that ultimate.
Good decision overall from Ssumday to back away when EDG was leaning bot side. There's just so much control here from EDG. The only thing they have to worry about is just putting down a defensive ward. Here we are.
Big damage. Closer are going to be forced to back away, but nothing too much lost there.
Yeah, TPing back down towards bot side, so they definitely want to fight for this because Abbedagge was trying to get them river access by that early push. But look at this damage.
They're walking through the pinch. Huhi already forced to flash out. JieJie taking big damage off to the side, but he's just going to leap right in on FBI. He goes gold, and this time he does use the stopwatch. Viper ulti not going to connect to FBI, immediately flashing out to safety. And Ssumday into the back line. Abbedagge stepping forward, but Flandre's cleaning house, leaping forward. The Grave's still standing, but it will not be enough. He does a lot of damage, but can he take down 3 members at the same time? He's close. The shutdown comes through. The triple for closer. The drag dragon to follow. This could be everything for 100 Thieves.
They could go to Baron as well here. They still have Closer alive. They're soling this up. They're taking mid tower. 100 Thieves are on the precipice of a massive upset here against EDG. They're TPing top. They want to try to get the Baron and the dragon, and I think they can do it.
They're going for it. What a smart fight from Ssumday and Closer. And now Abbedagge is playing defense here, not letting anyone through. He sees Scout though.
Scout, some good poke. Ultimate is still up and available, level 15 Syndra. Oh, we've seen miraculous steals. Scout, can you do it? You need to keep going. You need to fight for this game, to fight in the tiebreaker. You are not done even if you take this 100 Thieves. Can you secure it? Can you make the miracle happen? It's so low.
Smart stuff there from 100 Thieves. They paused at a bit over 1100 HP. Wait for Scout to spend his spells, then finish it with the smite, knowing he cannot do more than that. Watch Flandre here going into the back line, trying to fly in. The initial peels are great. FBI buys so much time with the stopwatch, and then the counter engage from Ssumday over the top. Closer, Ssumday, Abbedagge slam it home as FBI kites it out, and 100 Thieves are playing a hell of a game.
They're just so proud to see in this final game for 100 Thieves, it feels like they're just showing their true selves. That, you know, the team fights that people were afraid of in dealing with Closer, Abbedagge, and in this case, Ssumday, they were able to make it happen. So great job there at 100, and now they're going to try and snowball this with the Baron that they have.
Almost a 7K gold lead. Soul point as well. The ball very much in their court, and you have to, this is the building of all of their Worlds experience so far, finally paying off, finally showing itself on stage after what was a disastrous game for DFM. Yes, they got the win, but it was messy. But now, in the final moment, when it matters most, when there's really something on the line, not just pride, but seeding here for both of the top teams in this group, 100 Thieves really showing their final form.
And for EDG, it's all about killing FBI. He has no stopwatch, he hasn't finished the GA yet, and he's got no flash. So they've got to try to find some sort of way to get to the back line and take him down. But they've expended a lot of their flashes as well. You know, both Flandre and JieJie spent them in that last fight, and that's really the dynamic duo here from EDG that's trying to get in the back line and punish. So 100 Thieves trying to play it out slow, play it out smart. They're in the 1-3-1, looking to extend the gold lead here and likely get towards FBI's GA before they commit to a fight.
And Scout has to pull away from topside just to defend a possible hit on mid lane inner turret. Anytime Abbedagge can look for him.
And that's it. That's 2 quick cooldowns burn. You got both the Wild Growth as well as the Gale Force. That much easier to continue the siege stepping up.
And that alone, I think, is going to send them back. I think that's going to be a reset here from EDG. Now you can start to get the tower damage down. Likely will be this tier 2 mid, as that is going to go down incredibly quickly. EDG unwilling to make a stand here. So 100 Thieves just slowly inching forward in this game. They are content to extend the gold lead, play towards Mountain Soul, which would be critical, but you can see Scout looking for a potential pick.
EDG doing the best they can to hold on to weather the storm of this Baron. Only 24 seconds left on the buff. We've heard about it, EDG team fighting, legendary, but certainly set up a difficult task for yourself. Definitely time to prove it if you can take down a team that's 8K in the lead that has so many strong individual members. Maybe a pick now. Scout of the Week does come out, but EDG do not want to follow up.
Yeah, but 100 Thieves are just playing really well around the vision around top side. And on top of that, I would have thought that they would need Abbedagge to move from bot towards mid lane to get the inner. But they're just playing so well, burning Meiko's ulti and forcing Viper to back anyways. It's just a really tough game for Aphelios to play.
Absolutely is, and Critical Purchase does come through. There is the GA for FBI. You can see the GA done now for Closer as well. Horizon Focus finished there for Ssumday, almost a death cap for Abbedagge. They have gotten so much gold now. They're controlling vision on this bottom side. There's no cross-map play for EDG to make because the Baron has not respawned. They are going to be forced to take this soul fight, and as long as 100 Thieves can execute, it should be in their hands.
If EDG have to fight into a Kennen with a Syndra, with an Aphelios, champions who want to be pulling backwards, kiting away, should be heavily favored by the side of 100 Thieves. We're still looking at Flandre, we're still looking at JieJie, we're looking at these people who, if they get into the back line, they can obliterate 100 Thieves, but it is a hard task for EDG. Thieves taking their time on the setup. EDG pushing in 5 members strong. Abbedagge clearing the mid wave. Maybe they see an opportunity to get a fight kicked off, but it's big damage before the fight even kicks off. But now FBI's been locked up. Yes, he has the GA. Tidal wave just used to zone EDG out of the area. Abbedagge still focused in mid lane, coming down now, maybe looking for the Realm Warp angle.
Yeah, you can see that Ssumday trying to be above them. He wants them to commit fully into this area and then try to wrap around from the front. And huhi expended that ultimate, thinking that JieJie might be dashing forward.
Four members of EDG in the choke right now. Ssumday has flash. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity, but Scout over the wall.
Yeah.
Scout of the week is big.
That was nice, but remember, JieJie had to use his ultimate to get EDG in the river. So 100 Thieves started to fight. It's gonna look good for them with Ssumday's ulti up.
They go for the flip. Do they just go for the steal? EDG playing with fire,
Ssumday
risking
behind them. They
everything.
don't know. They don't
Ssumday
see
come in,
him.
flash over the wall. 4-man ulti, just like that. One push of a button. FBI dominating Mountain Soul for 100 Thieves, and EDG, they're running out of hope.
Ssumday erases EDG from the map. 100 Thieves are heading down mid lane, looking to take down the LPL champions.
This is a game to be proud of for 100 Thieves and the hopefuls back at home. The fact that they're able to do this and just stomp EDG and what EDG's great at.
EDG, one final desperate hold. Doesn't look like they can do it, and that's going to be a T1. Have to be clapping in the background. FBI cleanses, but he flashes it anyway. Absolute confidence. They flashed the S, and they deserved it. S-rank play from 100 Thieves as they deny EDG the tiebreaker.
You've heard of Viper and Meiko, but let me introduce you to FBI and huhi. What a game from the bottom lane. What a game from 100 Thieves coming together, playing aggressive in their final game here at Worlds, showing up huge, and Ssumday in that final team fight. Back and forth movement there. EDG lost sight of where he was. They thought he was coming from above. They fully committed to the river. He gets behind them, and he destroys them.
David just demolished Goliath. Krillin just demolished Vegeta. 100 Thieves just demolished EDG from start to finish. 4 kills in the bottom lane, the aggressive lane you were waiting for, the comfort for closer to show up clutch. An incredible, incredible game.
And you see in the eyes of closer as they finished off the Nexus, at least they were able to prove to themselves and the people at home that they could do it.
Yeah.
That they could beat the best in the group at the time.
Exactly. It was relief. It was not celebration from 100 Thieves there. I think it's easy to see that they are not happy with how this event went for them. They felt that they were capable of more. They felt that they were capable of turning in a performance like we saw from them right here. And had they shown up earlier in the tournament, there's potential to do more damage in this group. But still, I think you can walk away proud. It's a very difficult group, and taking a game off EDG here in emphatic fashion is something that they should really be proud of.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you won't look back on this tournament and say, hey, we had a fantastic tournament, but you look back at that game and say, we played a world-class game of League of Legends versus one of the tournament favorites. I think that is something to be proud of. And while T1 and EDG advance to the quarterfinals, they'll be joined alongside C9 and Damwon Kia. Let's take a listen to Cloud9's winning moments yesterday in Sounds of the Game, presented by Bose.
I killed Kiana.
Bot. Yeah.
Look at Draven here.
I can lifesteal as well.
Look, I'm coming. I got him. He's dead.
Coming.
And bot.
Let's end.
Oh, the first dub, guys.
All right, we're making it out, boys.
Yes, I'm not 0-12 in Worlds.
Woo! All right, good guys.
The greatest comeback the NA has ever seen.
And he's making it out.
I'm flash now.
I'm gonna go in. Nice. Guys again.
I'm out of range.
Don't me. Just kill Rumble.
Guys.
Anyone DPM?
Guys again. Nice.
Yeah! Woo! It's the NA Vic 2, baby. Nice.
I'm looking for the rest.
Yeah, here, look.
Coming.
What? Kill off.
Yeah, kill off.
I'm dead.
Think it's okay?
Head back if possible.
No,
Look,
yeah.
kill
Jin.
this.
We win.
The base.
Look at Jin.
The base, TP someone if you can.
I'll just kill Jin. I'll just kill Jin. Just go.
Nice.
Yeah! No! Man, I didn't queue correctly.
That was L9.
Wow, we are all joking. Everybody's joking. It's a joke fest. But then the next is other groups.
North America!
Oh, that was cringe. Oh,
That was the most. That was the time. Oh hard.
No, wait, let me-
So sorry.